What is the ultimate status symbol? Is it owning a huge mansion? I don't think so. The one out in LA, one of the biggest houses ever built, is under threat of being foreclosed upon. The owner just filed bankruptcy to try to stave off foreclosure. That house was on the market for $500 million. Most people don't think it's worth $500 million. A lot of people think maybe it's only worth 200, 250, maybe 300 tops. So what's the next big status symbol you could get? Maybe it's owning a yacht. The Rising Sun is a $500 million boat. That's a $500,000 boat. It's parked right out here in front of my house. It's been anchored there for about a week. Well, that's a pretty good status symbol, a $500 million yacht. For a long time, the biggest status symbol you could get was owning your own private island. In fact, I went snorkeling off Jeffrey Epstein's island just last weekend. It's really great snorkeling out there. But you can see how that ended for him, not that well. So what else is left? Maybe owning your whole town. Mark Cuban just bought a town last week. It hit the news. It reminded me of when Bruce Willis and Demi Moore were buying up a town out in Idaho back in the 90s. So I started thinking, what celebrities own towns? I found that Jonny Depp is a big town owner. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Mark Cuban's town, a little bit about Jonny Depp's town. I'll show you guys some towns that you can buy yourself. So be sure to stay to the end if you're interested in buying your own town. Let's get into the video right now.
Shut up and sit down.
This is the Retirement Mentality channel where I want to change your mentality about retirement and how you think about money. We talk a lot about real estate on this channel. And so when I saw that Mark Cuban had bought a whole town, I started thinking what kind of real estate investment would that be? I had a dream for a long time of owning my own private island. I actually had an island picked out that I was going to buy in Nicaragua, and I was going to sell all my assets in 2007. And then in 2008, the market crashed, and instead of selling all my assets, I went completely broke, and I never did buy that island. But now I live on a Caribbean island in the US Virgin Islands, and this has taught me that maybe I don't want to actually own my own private island. Just living on this island is remote enough. Trying to get basic goods here is hard enough. I can't imagine owning your own island. I just think the logistics of it are just horrible. So sometimes you have to be careful what your dreams are. So what about the dream of owning your own town? So Mark Cuban last week bought a town called Mustang, Texas. It's just like, I think about 9 miles south of Dallas, so close to his, it's in his stomping grounds. It hasn't been reported yet how much he actually paid for the town, but it was originally listed for $4 million, and then a couple of years later, they dropped the price to $2 million. So we don't know exactly what he paid for it. And it was reported that he bought it from a friend, but I just saw a couple of news reports that said maybe the guy who owned it actually had died and had reached out that said he would really like for Mark Cuban to purchase the town, maybe to help the townspeople. So he did end up, in fact, purchasing the town and said he bought it from a friend. They said what a gracious heart and big heart Mark Cuban has. So the people who live in the town are very excited, and they think I think there's 23 residents in the town and an alligator, according to the reports. So they're all very excited, and the surrounding people who live around there are hoping Mark's going to swoop in there and do something fabulous. There's just a rundown. There's a closed down strip club there and a couple trailers. There's not really much there. I don't think, according to reports that I saw, that he really has any plans to do anything with the town. He said he might just forget that he owns it, but time will tell. So that got me thinking, who else what other celebrities own some towns? Like I said in the introduction there, I remember when Demi Moore, no relation, and Bruce Willis were buying up a town out in Idaho. So I pulled up this article about what actually happened to the town that they were buying up. I don't think it really went very well for the town out in Idaho that Bruce and Demi were buying up. It was called Haley, Idaho. And they had originally bought a house there in 1988 when they had their first kid, whose name is Rumor. Great name for a kid. But they bought a house there so that they could get away and just act like normal people. And then it turns out they didn't really want to act that normal. They ended up buying up other stuff around the town. They put up a movie theater, and then they put in a bar, and they started putting in other little things. They hired about 250 people in the town. Now they were employing these people. Everyone was excited. They were building stuff in the town. But then when they split up, they just sort of abandoned this town. All those people didn't have jobs. They had a bunch of work scheduled for new contractors and things to be done, who ended up actually suing them for the money that they never got paid. And they just kind of left the town in a ruin, and they abandoned all the townspeople. So that's a good example of when a celebrity buys a town and it just doesn't go very well. We'll see what Mark does with his town. The other notable celebrity who owns a town is our boy Jonny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean. He bought a whole village out in Italy back in 2001. I didn't really see a report of exactly what he paid for it. I just kind of saw that he paid a couple $1 million for this town, and he poured millions and millions and millions of dollars into the town, and he's been fixing it up, and it's really beautiful. I'll put in some footage here of what the town looks like. He's actually tried to sell the town twice. Back in 2015 and 2016, he put it on the market for 25 million. And now it's back on the market at 55 million. He put it back on the market in February. So for a mere $55 million, you can buy this cute little village that Jonny Depp owns. I think I said it was in Italy earlier, but it's actually in France. It's about 9 miles from Saint-Tropez. In Jonny Depp's French village, he has a 4,500 square foot main residence that has 5 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms. The village doesn't actually have a name, but it's in the province of La Plaine de la Tour. It has a bistro. That's called Chez Marceline. Chez means house, so that means like the house of Marceline. It has a laundry facility. It has a pirate-like wine cave and its own skate park, along with several other houses throughout the village. So very interesting little concept he's got there with his own skate park. I'm sure there's not very many French villages with their skate park. So in total, Jonny Depp's village has 15 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, 2 swimming pools across 6 different guest cottages, and also the aforementioned main residence of 4,500 square feet. I saw a report that it was listed on Gibson Sotheby's Real Estate. I went to their website and I don't see it. I'm looking at my computer. That's why you keep seeing me look down. I went to their website and I didn't actually see it listed on the website, so I couldn't find the actual listing to link to. But I'm sure if you got $55 million burning a hole in your pocket, you can find the village and get in touch with Jonny Depp's people. And your people can talk to their people and you can own his village. If you would like to cut me in on the deal, I'd be happy to negotiate it for you since I am an active real estate agent. So this got me going down the wormhole to try to find other villages or towns that you may be able to buy yourself. So I'm going to save the best one for last. It's in Italy. I think that's why I mixed up Jonny Depp's being in Italy, which is actually in France. So let's start with a few of the smaller ones here in America that you could buy. So I'll just hit a couple of my favorite towns I found for sale in America here. The first one is a Western movie ranch in New Mexico listed for $1.6 million where they filmed a couple of movies. It says this is a fascinating replica of a Wild West town from back in the 1880s when the notorious outlaw Thomas Blackjack Ketchum ruled the roost. Blah, blah, blah. 58 acres of the ranch comes equipped with a hotel, a log cabin, a dance hall, a saloon, a billiard hall, photography studio, stagecoach, and barbershop, complete with the antique barber chair. So there you go. For $1.6 million, you can buy a film studio replica town out in New Mexico. I like that one. I always kind of thought it'd be fun to own something out in the desert. If you don't want to be in the desert, you can go out to Tut Hill, Maine, and for $5.5 million, you can buy a town out there. The town of Pittston, sitting on more than 50 acres of land. This picturesque settlement includes 25 buildings and structures that were the brainchild of local antiques dealer Kenneth Tuttle. So he went through and put together this old town, and now it can be yours for a mere $5.5 million. If you want something in an even colder region than Maine, we could take you over to Switzerland, where you can buy Saarbrunn Westmanland County, I guess that's where it is. Established in the 1700s, this quaint community of Saarbrunn was originally founded as a wellness village when a natural mineral spring was discovered on the site. Ooh, that's nice. It went on to become a popular destination for those in search of relaxation and respite. Fast forward 300 years, and the health and well-being are still very much the heart of this unique development, which is now on the market with Christie's International Real Estate for just over $8.4 million. So you can buy a little village, I guess we could call this one a hamlet in Switzerland for $8.4 million. Staying in Europe, I'll take you over to Spain, where you can find in Zurdes, Yugo, Spain, our bargain town of the day at $502,000. This village offers 6 buildings in various states of repair, a stone and wood building. The main property is fully habitable and encompasses 1,700 square feet over 3 floors. Outside, there's a pretty garden with a hammock overlooking spectacular views of the surrounding hills and mountains. Most of the towns or villages I've seen in Spain are in the north of Spain, so I'm assuming that's where this one is because I actually This got me shopping for villages, and I think I would like to own one possibly in Spain. It says, this idyllic village in northwestern Spain also includes an old schoolhouse, which is in the process of being restored and converted into a residence. Elsewhere, there are 3 more houses and a barn that's currently used for storage. So for a mere $500,000, you could pick up your own Spanish village. And I said I'd save the last for the best. No, I said I'd save the best for the last. So just under the price of Jonny Depp's French village, which he's selling for $55 million. There's one in Poggio Santa Salicia, Tuscany in Italy. This one's on the market for $40 million. That's a drop in the bucket compared to this $500 million boat sitting out in front of my house. So this ad for this $40 million Italian village says, an unrivaled opportunity to own a substantial historic private estate in Tuscany's most desirable location, located in the countryside 20 kilometers east of Siena. The estate comprises uninhabited walled medieval hilltop village, 900 square meters. Add a 0 to square meters and you get square feet, so that's 90,000 square feet. That sounds really big. Approximately 700 hectares. That's 1,729 acres of land. A registered working organic farm, rural buildings equaling another 11,000 square meters. That's another 110,000 square feet of historical importance, woodland, and 2 lakes. So there you go. Talked about a couple celebrities who own towns, showed you a few towns you can buy. What do you think? Leave me a comment down below. Would you want to own a town? Would you rather just have your status symbol be a yacht or an island or a mansion? What are you going to do when you hit the lottery, when you win it big, when you have all the money in the world that you could ever want? What would you like to buy? Leave me a comment down below. And if you like this video, this is a little bit different video. I haven't done anything like this before. So give me a big thumbs up if you like it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so, because we do lots of content on real estate, on retirement, on financial independence, the FIRE movement, all those things. Thanks. We'll see you in the next video.